All right, so we were supposed to do this with my buddy Thomas. He is not here because he is so tired of how the race is transpiring. But you know what? We're going to take a completely unbiased view at the debate last night, the Republican debate. Of course, who was the biggest winner? We'll go around, just see what I thought of each candidate, how they perform. And again, I'm talking about how they performed to Republican voters, not my feelings, just how they conveyed their message. That's the point here, because that's what's going to decide the election. And then we're also going to talk about just a couple key moments and then the situation of the race. So stay tuned. So my biggest winner, I think Ron DeSantis had a very good debate last night, especially compared to his first debate. He had a lot of robotic answers. He was clearly like, his bombshell opening in the first debate was clearly rehearsed. He got better as the night went on, but it wasn't a great night. Second debate did not start out well. He only got one comment in the first 15 minutes, but then he eventually started taking command of the stage. And I think the big moment where he shifted was when he decided to attack Trump. So Christie was just hammering him in all of his first three answers. And then after one of Christie's answers, I think it was on the national debt. Of course, the Trump administration you could argue that was because of COVID, or you could argue it was because of reckless spending, but the debt did increase. That's a fact. Christie hammered him on that. And then DeSantis turns around and he does the same, maybe not as forcefully, but Ron DeSantis has pretty much avoided touching him at all costs. So that was a big moment for him. And I think that was a correct moment for him, because if you're DeSantis, you attack Trump on January 6th, the indictments, you're in trouble. That's not going to work for DeSantis, and especially the voting bloc he's going for. So I think, but if you're attacking him on policy, that might work. Again, the same thing with electability was the first argument they thought of, because of course DeSantis won by 20 points. But now most people in the Republican voting base are looking at the polls and it's like, well, there's an ABC poll that shows Trump up by 10. What are you talking about electability? We're winning right now. And again, you can always take the polls with a grain of salt, but that's just the reality, and that's how people are going to see it. So with DeSantis, the way to do it is not after the indictments, not after electability. It's on how is the Trump administration. I think, he did it on the pro-life issue, and he did it on, of course, I just mentioned right there, with the national debt, which is true. They're both true. Trump last week just argued that the pro-life people were being too extreme. So that's the fact of the matter of that. I think and we'll just go around with the candidates now here. So I think Doug Burgum clearly wanted to talk more. That was the goal. I think he came across as rude, I guess, sometimes, but they really were not going to him. If you look at the debate times and the amount of people speaking, most people around 10 to 9 minutes. He had 7.5 minutes. So the facts lay out. Yes, he's the lowest polling candidate, but it should still be a little more fair. He should not get 2 minutes less talking time than everyone else. He's like, I lead an energy state, which is true. North Dakota is an energy state. And he had a lot of strong answers on that. He might have had a good debate. We'll see how his name recognition goes around. I thought Christie was most of the same. We knew what we were going to get with Christie. He attacked Trump directly more, even though Trump wasn't there, which is very interesting. I think for his block, I think it's working. For the Never Trump, I think it's working. But for everyone else, I think he needs to hammer a little bit harder if he's going to get his point across. I think for everyone else, they're mainly writing him off as just a Trump hater. He's going to deliver his message. So a little bit of a watch for Christie last night. I think Nikki Haley, personally came across as pretty rude, and you're going to see this for other ones. There was so much crosstalk is okay, but let the other person make the point. If you're going to have a fiery debate, that's fine, but just let, maybe it's how I was raised. I don't know. Just, let the other person make the point and then fire back. Is the personal insults and the crosstalk, which, got to be honest, Nikki Haley was guilty of both. So you might have thought, and the reason why she's gained a boost in polls is because of how much of a fire she puts into her effort. That's fine, but the way she was conveying it, which just wasn't good. So then, of course, we already talked about DeSantis. I thought he was my winner. Vivek moderated. He pulled back. You could clearly see it. Somebody clearly told him, hey, you can't be running the stage as much as you used to. And he moderated his positions. He's like, I like all these guys. These are nice people. He said that multiple times. He got his message across. He broke with Trump at the end, which was very interesting. He said he's better to carry the American First movement. So not bad, not good. I actually think he had a better debate. I thought he was rude in the first debate. Tim Scott, same as Nikki Haley, just constantly interrupting. He talked more, which is clearly what he was supposed to do. He didn't show much in the first debate, but I wasn't a huge fan. And then of his debate performance, and then Mike Pence just didn't, like, again, for his block, he's doing okay, but he didn't win anybody over. So just those are the moments. There wasn't really any huge other moments, just a lot of crosstalk, and it was unnecessary. And delay of the land right now is the polling shows the two candidates with the chance are Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley based on the polling, and you got to target the early states. So if it's Iowa, New Hampshire, if it's not one of those, it's over. Unless, and my theory is, if Trump gets indicted, then someone else might jump in after Super Tuesday, or it gets really interesting. The RNC panics, but still a while away. Trump is commanding.